Hey everyone, Trevor here with the 220. Just wanted to give you a brief update, well, maybe brief, of what's going on with the tank. As you can see, it's in a bit of disarray right now. I'm in the middle of a large cleanup project, and that was triggered by the fact that about 6 months ago I decided to add Rissicardia, mini pellia, to most of the rocks, along with some Java trident, and the growth became so explosive that the Rissicardia ended up getting all in hair grass, causing me to, causing a lot more maintenance that I had been doing, and more than I really cared to do. So what I did is I'm removing all of the plant material from the rocks, and then I'm gonna uproot all of the hair grass belem, and just rinse it and try and get all the other plant material out of it, and I'm going to replant it, and hopefully about 3 to 4 weeks after I replant it, it'll come back. So without further ado, I'll zoom in so you can see what's going on. So this big rock here in the front was entirely covered with Java trident, and what happened is it became so dense that it shaded out this entire front section. I didn't remove any of this hair grass. That just disappeared naturally, simply because there was no light getting there. So that didn't work out too well. Then what happened is that this big rock here in the back that I'm pointing to in the back, that was also covered with Java trident, and what that did is, you can see that bare patch in the middle of all the rocks that used to be covered in hair grass, and now it's bare. And again, that was mostly due to lack of light and flow getting in there. So that all has to be redone. You can see all of these sections in there. So this rock and all of these rocks were covered with pellia. I got most of it. So I'll zoom in here, and you can see what I'm complaining about with the hair grass. Here especially, you can see a lot of it. See all of these patches of darker green? Most of that is mini pellia, and it's all mixed in with the hair grass. And what happens is, eventually it clumps up. It forms clumps at the base of the hair grass, and it prevents it from swaying nicely in the breeze like I want it to. Like you can see in there, it's just, once you start to see it, you can't unsee it. You can see all those pieces of mini pellia. So what I've been doing here is, you can see that where some of the hair grass is uprooted, what that is, that's from using a comb and gently combing it. And here is said comb. So I use this one because the nice wide teeth are good for coarse, and then you can use obviously the finer side once you get some of the bigger stuff out. So that works pretty well. And then here is just a little brush that I use to clean the rocks. It's available at your local fish supermarket. So let me come in here, and I'll show you some of the issues. So here you see in the valleys there, right? I have to clear all of the moss in between there from the walls, because I want to make sure that I'm gonna replant all of those with hair grass. So all of those need to be very clear. You can see here. This all, I've uprooted a lot of this. This is some really dense mats of hair grass, but there's also a fair amount of pellia still in there. So all that has to be redone. You can see the rocks. Sorry about my reflection. Some of the rocks still have, pellia or pieces of moss or trident on it. I did uproot this section. That's most of this that's floating around here. And this is all still good, viable hair grass. There's a large mat of it. Just keep it floating over here. And what that does is, you can see when it floats, it really cleans it of all. You can see all the individual strands, and you can see that it's still really healthy and can be replanted. So you can see in the back here, this is still all good, but there's probably a big piece of pellia in there somewhere. You can see I started to uproot it because I wanted to see how the substrate was underneath it, and this back section here isn't too bad with the pellia. It's got it in there for sure. You can see it when you start. See right in there, and there's some fissidens and all in there. But it's, you know, not bad. So I'll uproot those in sections. There's a huge piece of fissidens that I have. And then the last thing is, see these rocks here in the middle, see how they're all covered with moss? What happens is that moss eventually gets long and it gets tangled in the hairgrass and eventually starts to strangle it out. So I need to make sure that those rocks and these ones here in the front have as much plant material that is not belem hairgrass as possible that I want to remove. And that's about it. You can see what's going on. You can see that big bare section in the middle that used to be filled with hairgrass. And I certainly have plenty of it to replant. I'm not that worried about it. Tank, I know, looks a little goofy, but it's actually doing well. The hairgrass is just matted, and I'm just fixing it. The other thing is that the Scape will be a year old. Well, this particular Scape will be a year old in mid-August, or towards the third week in August. And a year is a good time to you know, just clean things up and really, you know, scrub at it and you know, change all the filter hoses and really scrub the sump and all those things that we put off over time. So what I'll do when I clean this is I'll actually take hairgrass, you know, clumps, and what I'll do is I'll just shake it out gently like this right in front of the overflow. So a lot of that hopefully will go right down, and then as it's cleaned I'll transfer it to a bucket of clean tank water, and hopefully this will be the stuff that I replant. So you can see I have a large amount of it. There's, you know, there's some foreign material in there, right? So you'd hopefully want all of that stuff to come out. You can see there's, you know, less and less of it all the time though. See, it's those things. All you need is a tiny bit and it'll just restart. So the objective is to try and get rid of as much of that stuff and the moss as possible, so that when I replant it will be less of an issue, and it will be able to, I'll hopefully be able to maintain it and not have to worry about that. So that rock I'll probably maybe cover again with the pennywort like it used to. Used to have a big cover pennywort, and I like that. So I think I'll go back to it. This section over here to the side has never been culled, uprooted, trimmed, or anything, so that'll be good to get in there and see what's going on. And again, like I said, I'll trim all the hairgrass away from all the rocks, to, you know, and then so I can clean them. And then when I replant, I'll, you know, I won't mow the hairgrass until after the replant is done and it starts to regrow, and then I'll mow it for height. And, you know, hopefully it'll be back to the way it used to look. And that's it. So the fish are pretty healthy, I think. They seem to be doing well. I have less than I used to, but more than I thought, because they were really hiding in the shade. So I've been babbling on here for, my goodness, almost 9 minutes. So that's it. You know, sorry it took so long. I'll show you that big piece of fissidens that I have. Oh no, it actually broke into two. Almost. So that used to look really nice on one of the rocks. See, it's at least as big as my hand is, and it's pretty healthy, so I might keep this. You know, this used to be over here on this rock here, right in there, and then it formed this really nice, sorry, trust me, it formed this really nice mound, you know, but it's taken a beating from being, you know, moved around and whatnot, but it's still really healthy, and I think it'll come right back. So again, sorry for the length of that. That's what's going on. You can see all the bare spots where I've already uprooted the ADA. So I'm really doing well towards my goal of removing it all, and then cleaning it up, and then replant the cleanest plugs. You know, so a lot of this I've already tossed. Probably more I will, but there's plenty of good sections in here. All of this is good, and I'll clean all this out. This alone would be enough to redo a lot of it, because if you do plugs and just let the lawn regrow, then you'll get mostly new growth, and then I won't have to worry about it. So that's it. All right, 10-minute mark, folks. Later. Have a good one. Bye.